All right, y'all. So look, this is the this is the true is how the children are made. So you have these some children like they're nothing like their parents. Like they may have some features. They might have some features like they say they have their dad's hair, or they have their dad's eyes, or they have their mom's nose, or they have their mom's personality, they have their mom's smile. But the thing is, they didn't get any of these traits from the parents themselves. It was basically just like a copy of it. So when the soul chooses to incarnate into this vessel, it chooses its parents. It chooses its parents. And not only does it choose its parents, it chooses its life path. So it chooses if it wants to experience tragedy in its life, it chooses if it wants to have a brother and then their brother dies at the age of 9. It chooses if it wants to go to daycare. It chooses if it wants to go to college and become a doctor. It chooses if it wants to go to high school and do 2 years, then drop out and become a drug dealer. The soul chooses its life path through and through. It chooses and it also chooses the traits it likes. Like it chooses what color it wants its hair to be, its eyes to be, its nose to be. So and a lot of children who have the same color hair as their parents, or eyes or nose, it chooses it chooses those. It didn't actually come from the parents. It just says basically like a copycat. It copies. It's like a copy of the cell. So they say they say when you have the same eyes as your parents, it's basically like a copy on your DNA. So the DNA of the child copies the strings of the DNA, the genes from the parents. But that's not actually true. It just basically is like a copycat. A copycat does something it sees someone else do. So as we choose, we literally before we incarnate here, we choose our life path. We choose all the things we want to happen, all the awards we want to achieve. We choose if we want to become rich or famous. We choose if we want to experience death, or we choose if we want to experience certain relationships. And we also can choose our appearance. It's like the game of life. You ever played the game of life or life simulator on your phone? You get to choose what you want your hair to look like, your eyes to look like. You get to choose if you want to be a talented sports player. So copycat genes is when we see when the soul sees something that it also likes on its parents, and they say, I like that blonde hair on my mama. I want that too. I like them eyes my mama got. I want them too. So that's when the child also has the same. It comes out with the same eyes and same hair, and it didn't come from the parents. The child just copied them. It's like a copycat gene. It copied the genes from the genome of the parents. It didn't come from them. They copied him. They basically said, the soul basically said, I like those. I want those in this lifetime. I like that my dad's a professional sports player. I want to be a talented sports player too. So the soul the soul basically incarnates, and it chooses everything it wants to experience. It chooses its appearance. So they told you in the way the scholars told you that the way a child is made, all the professional scholars, the who are adept on birth and the human physiology and the way babies are made, they said that it starts in the sperm. The sperm goes into the mother's ovisac or ovaries in 9 months, and then the baby come out. That's your baby. But really, that the it's like two preps. The mother and the dad has nothing to do with the baby at all, because we are souls. We are souls. Carbon people, we have this carbon skin. This is condensed sunlight. This is condensed sunlight. This is melanin in its highest form is carbon. Carbon is the basis of which all life is formed. Even anything that has matter in it, all antimatter and matter, anything that is physical, solid, or tangible, and all antimatter. has carbon in it. Without carbon, there will literally be nothing to be called a anything to be called a anything. There would be no galaxies, there would be no stars, there would be no planet for people to even live on, to inhabit, to even be in homes or anything. There would be no people, there would be no life without carbon. So we are souls. So the mother and the father has nothing to do with the child, with the soul that comes in, because that is human thinking. That is human thinking. The way the scientists explained it to you, how children are made. We have to look at it in the realm of metaphysics. We are all souls. We are all immortal souls. Us carbon people who have this carbon. We are all immortal souls. So the dad is like the mom and the dad are like the cooks. The dad is the one who preps the food, which is the seed of creation, the seed of life. So when the seed goes into the ground, that's the foundation, that's the seed. But then somebody else has to come water it. And then the seed sprouts into a big tree. Okay. So the dad is the prep. He has the seed. He preps the food, which is the seed. Then once that food is prepped, once the seed is prepped, the food, he hands the food over to the person who's cooking the food, which is the mom. So he hands the food over to the cook, which is which is the oven, which is her ovaries, which is her sac, the egg. And she ferments it. Ferments means to cook. And she cooks it for 9 months. She cooks that food for 9 months. She cooks that seed for 9 months. And then you have a person who's the critic. You ever seen a critic in a restaurant? The critic, he tastes food. You ever seen Gordon Ramsay or Hell's Kitchen? You know, they make the food and then they have these audiences, people taste the food. So the baby that comes in is the critic. He's the person that tests the food, that eats the food. So notice how the cook has nothing to do with the person who preps the food. They both have their own separate unique positions. He preps it, she cooks. And also the person that's eating the food has nothing to do with the cook or the prep. He has his own thing, which is to taste the food. Okay? So that's how it goes. In a way where y'all can understand it, the dad cooks, the dad prepares the food, which is the seed. Once he prepares the food, once he preps it, meal prep it, then he hands it over to the cook, which is the mom. She cooks it in her oven, which is her womb, her ovary sac, and she ferments it for 9 months. She cooks it. That means the baby start off the meal starts off raw. The meal ain't cooked at all. It's raw. That's the seed. It's a little tiny seed. And then over time, the food gets heated up. It gets heated up. It gets heated up and warm and get ready to cook. Well, for babies, it takes 9 months instead of 30 minutes. A good meal might take 30 minutes to cook in the kitchen before it's all warm and heated up and good and tender, seasoned. You know what I'm saying? So the dad preps it. He's the meal prep. He preps the seed, which is the seed. Then he hands it over to the mom. She cooks it, ferments it in the oven, which is her womb, for 9 months. And then once that the meal is ready for the taste tester to eat it, which is the baby, then the baby comes out. That's how the true how children are made. So this is why some children come out and they don't even have their mom's eyes, or they don't have their dad's hair, or they don't have their dad's nose, or they don't have their mom's ears, or they don't have their dad's or mom's anything. But you be like, but they know that's still their child though. They be like, you don't have your mom anything, but we sat in that room with her and seen her push you out, so we know that's your mama. I have a cousin named Shiloh, and her mom is as black as me or blacker. But Shiloh is so light skinned. She's so light skinned. Her mama has nappy hair. Shiloh has freaking curly hair. She doesn't have anything that her mom has. Her dad is Mexican though. So she got her color from her dad. But that's it. That's all she got wasn't from the color. She didn't get his personality. She didn't get his eyes. So she didn't choose to have those. She didn't choose to have the eyes or the personality. But she has the skin color, which she chose. She chose the skin color. So, and this is why you don't have two people that's the exact same skin color. If you see her dad, he's white, and then you see her and she's white, but if you look closely at their skin colors, they're not the exact same shade of white. He's like white, but just like a little darker white than her. So no two people, even their children, has the exact same skin color or the exact same features. Even if they chose the same hair color. You might have black hair color and he has black hair color, but his is just a tiny bit darker than yours. Just and if you look real closely, you can see this difference. Like it's very subtle. Sometimes it's very subtle, but it's there. You know, it's like the game of life, the board game of life. This is you choose your career path, you choose your parents, you choose the way you want to live, you choose everything you want to experience, and yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Hmm.